All right, so welcome everyone to our Meal Planning 101, really geared towards 80-day obsession and a little obsessed. And then if we have specific, just or more general questions on, how to do something, please feel free to put it in the chat bar and I'll try to get to the questions near the end. But I really wanted to just take a minute to touch base on the meal plan, because if you've done other programs, you're familiar with the whole container system and how it works. And this one's just different. You're used to being thrown X amount of containers and say, eat them. And now Autumn's coming in and saying, well, wait a minute, you should do this before and this right after, and then this an hour after that. And I know I've got a lot of questions. Well, I work out at 5 o'clock in the morning. I cannot get up at 4 o'clock just to eat. And I thought it would just be easiest to address the masses altogether. I think first and foremost, I want you guys just to realize that the plan is there to be a plan. It's a recommendation to follow. If something doesn't fit your lifestyle, your schedule, then make it work for you. I mean, at the end of the day, the goal is to follow a clean eating meal plan, eat your containers, and get your workout in. The way it's designed is to maximize your results. She's really taking it from, when we think of the 21-day fix, it was really geared towards anybody at any fitness level should do this program, where 80-day obsession and a little obsessed that we're doing now is really not for someone who's never worked out or never meal planned to just come in and really grasp it, because it's a lot. I want to, if you guys like this, I think it would be helpful next week as well, once we have the full 80-day, not calendar, 80-day nutrition guide, that we can kind of do this again and talk through it. Because at this point, all we have is the pre-workout block. That's the only thing that she's given us. But with that, I know that the pre-workout meal is a lot of food. And if you are working out in the morning, chances are you don't want to eat a red, a yellow, a green, a whatever, all at 4 o'clock in the morning and then wait an hour to digest it. What I've done is I've been doing a little obsessed. When I created my meal plan I shared last week for it, I actually showed that I was going to have 2 hard-boiled eggs before my workout. But then I'm also having, I like to have eggs with veggies after. That to me is an easy way to get a red and a green in. So I actually switched it. I've been shaking a shake with just 8 ounces of water. So I do like to make my shake thick. I make it with spinach and ice, and I usually do my vegan vanilla and I eat it in a cup, and it's more like something you eat with a spoon. This week I've been doing my Simply Shaken cafe latte just with water. It's easily digested. So it's not something that, it's not heavy, it's not a lot of carbs. That's going to take my body a while to process. And, Autumn even said herself, she actually doesn't wait an hour for her body to digest her pre-workout meal. She eats and then works out because that works for her. Most people, from her experience and her recommendation, will need some time to digest their food. But if you can't or don't want to be eating, a full meal before you're hitting the workout room at 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning, then she shared that you can do something lighter. One of her options was 2 hard-boiled eggs and a half a banana, a purple and a red. Point is, you're giving your body fuel to then work out. In 4 years, I've never been one to work out or eat before I worked out. I just was no, I like to work out on an empty stomach. That's what works for me. And just in the last 2.5 weeks, I have been doing that shake, and then I'll have my Energize, I'll go work out, and then I'll have my Recover after. And I don't feel super sloshy while I'm working out. I think the difference too, and I'll be curious how 80-day obsession is, with these a little obsessed workouts, they're not high cardio to where you're jumping up and down. I really think that if I was doing Insanity Max 30 or Quarter Force or something that's very more cardio focused, I really think that I would have a hard time drinking a shake and then drinking Energize all before my workout. But honestly, this has been working for me really well. So think about that. I think eggs are an easy one to kind of have prepped in advance and eat before. I don't know anyone that wants to gnaw on a piece of chicken at 5 o'clock in the morning before they work out. But give your body some protein, some fruit. I know someone else had said doing half a banana with some nut butter was enough for them to get their body going. And then you'll just have to adjust your containers. I also fall into container A. So for me to do that full workout meal before and then the full workout meal after, being that I am getting up so early, it honestly leaves me with I have over half my containers gone at 8 a.m. And I'm like, that's just not going to work for me. Like I can't have 2 of my 4 reds done by the time I finish, with that first meal after my workout. So I want to encourage you guys to use the plan and follow it as best you can. Like my husband, he's following it to a T. Like at one point I was like, well, what if we move this? He's like, no, it's in the pre-workout. That's her workout block. And he's going to follow that to a T. But I'm like, I'm going to make this work for me. So look at it. I have an Excel sheet and I will share it. Let me open it. I think I have to open it before I share my screen with you guys. And I can share it, I'll post it in our little group, but it was pretty slick. Where is it? Right? No. I swear I had it up. Now I have too many windows open. We were sat down. There it is. Okay. Let me screen share now. My husband and I sat down and we're doing this last night, but it is pretty cool how it works. So it's already kind of in here. So I did this plan for him. So I went across the top and I put in all his containers for the day. And this is what his plan F gets. And then over here, I was like, okay, well, getting up at 5, 6 o'clock would be that recover, 9 o'clock would be breakfast. And that's a little bit bigger of a gap. I mean, you'll have to play around with your times. And we initially had a snack 3 when we did it, but then when we were playing here, it wasn't there. Can I just get a head nod? Make sure you guys can see this. Okay. Sometimes the screen sharing doesn't always translate on your end. Okay. So then we just went through plugging it in and the ones that they're going to give you that Autumn gives are these here. She's going to give you that pre-workout meal, which for him was a green, a purple, a red, and a yellow, and a teaspoon. And then she's going to tell you after that workout to have your recover in a purple. And then she tells you your breakfast, that first meal after that is going to be a green, a purple, 2 reds, and a yellow. So this was his. So we filled this in first, and then we went down through the rest of his day to kind of figure out what else we would need. And then, I only got as far as one day because this was like really confusing. I'm like, this is just a lot of food to figure out. But then we went through and we're like, okay, well, if you need to get a lot of greens in, like a salad's going to be what we're going to have to throw in there to get the salads in. And, we wanted to try to you can see here, his yellows and purples are all gone by lunchtime. And that's one of the tips that Autumn has within her meal plan guide is to have your purples and yellows in earlier in the day. And then more reds and greens later in the day. So we did this and I really tried to think of, okay, well, whatever is going to be in the morning needs to be cooked already. So easy things, obviously the shake with spinach, banana, and you can see a pancake because he needed a yellow and he's like, I don't want to put a yellow in my shake. So I'm going to pre-make pancakes. And he's just literally going to eat a pancake with it. And then the recover and to get another yellow and purple with his post-workout. He needed both the yellow and purple with it. So we did peanut butter, pop a slice of toast in the toaster, shake up the recover, put some banana and peanut butter on it, and that's going to be with his post-workout. And then eggs and potatoes and fruit. And I shared my little meal plan prep picture that I had done yesterday. I just cut up roasted potatoes or little red potatoes. I literally cut them into quarters, threw them in a roasting pan, roasted them with salt, pepper, and olive oil. And then they heat up pretty well. So then that became to go with, and then I do an egg bake every week. You can put whatever vegetables you want in there. We add jalapenos and make it spicy and peppers and spinach. And that also is something that can be done in advance. So that was kind of our bulk. That's what we cooked early enough to spread it out over the days. And then you just have to kind of fill it in and realize it's going to be a learning game. When we get the meal plan next week, it's my understanding that how we sat down today to figure out, okay, well, he needs 3 greens, a purple and a red at lunch, and then 1 green and 1 red for this snack. She's actually going to go as far to give you more detail as to how it should be broken down for that whole time nutrition. And while I'm A and then my husband's F, I realized there's 4 more meal plans in there. So I've been working with other coaches just to kind of swap meal plans. I'm like, I'll make one for A, you make one for F. And then if you're B, let's try to trade them out. And right now the test group participants actually aren't even allowed to share their meal plans because it hasn't been released yet. So even though they had them, they're not technically allowed to share them. So I have not even seen what an 80-day obsession meal plan is going to look like. but someone has started, like in the test group, they have started a Google Drive that is going to house example meal plans. So ideally, by the time we get this next week, it will be a lot easier to understand. And I think when you're trying something new, like I always take it down to real simple things. Like, I'm not going to say the meals are like super exciting, but I try to simplify them. And whatever we have for dinner one night becomes lunch the next day. You know, I'll cook chicken in bulk, and then that chicken becomes chicken on a salad, chicken mashed up with like hard-boiled egg and avocado. That becomes chicken in a wrap. Like, really try to think of how you can use things different ways, because it is very specific on what you're eating and when. And if you can follow this, it's going to have a significant impact on your results. The workouts are great, but if you're not giving your body, I don't know if you guys can realize, like, even just the 30-minute A Little Obsessed workouts, like, they're harder. Like, I am sore, like my buns are sore. I did the booty workout yesterday, and then I started back with core cardio today. Like, I'm sore. And I think that, you know, if we're not giving our body the right food, it's going to be really hard to do these workouts, which is why she shares that you should eat before you work out. You know, if you're eating dinner at 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night, and then you're not eating until, you're going to, do your thing, go to bed, wake up in the morning. By the time you go to work out, it's been 12 hours since you've given your body any food. And it's just harder for you to then perform your best through the workout. So I know it's a change for me to eat before. I know it's a change for a lot of you guys, because a lot of you are like me and you do eat or you do work out really early. I just encourage you to try it. Try different things. Like, if all you can handle is half a banana with a little bit of peanut butter on it in the morning, then that's something. If you try it and it's making you sick and you don't like to work out, then don't eat. Like, that's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, this is your choice and it's your results and it's your program and it's your plan. And I just want you guys to do it to the best that you can. And as long as you're trying it, I think that that's what matters more than anything. And, trial and error, try to, journal how different things work, how different things, what meal plans work for you guys. Like, I'm not kidding. I've been making this egg bake now for like probably 6 weeks. I'm not tired of it. I know some people would be like, oh, I've got to have something different to eat and I need more variety, or my husband's going to kill me if I shred another piece of chicken for dinner, because I have had to rotate out salsa chicken because of that reason. But find a couple things that are going to work for you and give it a whirl. And I know, like, if you've got kids like me, it does make things a little bit more challenging as far as having, what are we going to have for dinner? I try to explain to my kids what I'm eating and why, and I kind of do our meal plan in a way that if we're going to have chili for dinner, maybe that they have just like my son will do like nachos. So it's like, instead of the chili with the meat, I'll pull out some of the meat and we'll make like nachos with the turkey, the chili meat, something like that. Like, we'll adapt things. When we have shakes, they have shakes, and, they don't eat. I would love to tell you that they eat chicken salads and turkey burgers, but they just don't. So, and I've actually tried to make like different casseroles, and they don't really eat that either. Like, I have the most pickiest 6-year-old and 4-year-old I think that have ever faced the planet. So we just do our best to make meals that work for them, meals that fit our plans, and just keep mealtime as peaceful as possible. So try different things. If you've got teenagers, this is a really awesome time for you to, share more about nutrition with them, get them involved in the kitchen. Realize that, if something's not working, you can change it. Ask in the group. We're all doing this for the first time. Like, nobody's done 80-day obsession in our group, and nobody's done this time nutrition before. So if something's working really well for you, I just encourage you to share it with everyone else so that they can learn from it too. If you find a great recipe, share it. I do have lots of recipes on my blog. It's just my full name, meganblinka.com. There's several different crock pot recipes on there. I started my blog when I started 21 Day Fix, and I've been essentially eating along those lines for the last 4 years. So pretty much everything that's on my blog can be adapted to fit to this plan. So it will be a good resource for you. And again, as I get other resources, like, I'm really trying to get other examples from other people so that we can, have more things to look at. Because I think when I've been able to share, like, looking at my meal plan might work for some of you, and that's easy. But if it doesn't align with yours perfectly, you might still be kind of sitting at square one. So I will pull as much as I can and post as much as different resources I can in the group. I can still hear my kids out there. Does anyone have any questions? Any specific things that, as looking through the A Little Obsessed guide, that you're not sure of? Anything you've heard from other people that question? Anything? All right. The last thing I'll say is just make a plan, whether it's in a spreadsheet or real pretty in a document somewhere, or just a pen and paper. This is not going to be something you can just wing it. Like, I can tell you today, like, I was crazy busy this afternoon. I ended up going from 11 o'clock until 7:30 before I finally ate my dinner, just because I didn't feel like eating chili while I was running around to the store in the car. And I didn't have anything else that was quick to grab. And I didn't have anything made. So it was like, by the time 7:30 came and I finally had a chance to sit down, I was like hangry and my stomach was eating its insides. And I'm like, that's what I get, because I had prepped my first 3 meals and then I didn't have anything ready for me for this afternoon, and I paid for it. So it's not something that you can wing. If you're going to be leaving your house, have a cooler ready. I use the meal prep containers. I can post the link. I just have meal prep containers from Amazon. Have a little cooler bag. Keep water if you're going to be out running errands too, because if you get hangry, that water might at least help so you're not dying of thirst. Because again, I had no water today, and by the 7:30, I wasn't a very happy camper. So those are the basics. I'm glad that you guys got on. Hopefully you grabbed something from it that's helpful. And just, again, we're all doing it for the first time. It's going to be a learning curve. Do your best. Share what's working, share what's not, and hopefully we can lean in together and get some killer 80-day results. Because I know from all those test group results that I've seen, I'm pretty pumped to complete this myself. So thanks again for getting on, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.